Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Career Report. Once again, I think we're streaming live on LinkedIn. You guys, our fearless CEO, Tim Madden, that normally runs our show, and I co-host this with him, is sick. He's sick. He got his first Tennessee cold today, and he finally, something took him down. Not much takes him down. So all of our thoughts and prayers to Tim to get fast healing so he can get back to doing what he loves the most, which is to help people get hired, make more money, and really upgrade their life personally, professionally, and financially. So it's just me today, which, when you're used to co-hosting with somebody, it's a completely different experience when you are just on here alone. So if you're listening live, drop it in the comments, or if you have questions along the way through the topic, I'd be more than happy to touch on those and get you guys off to a good start for the week. If you guys follow me on LinkedIn, well, if you don't, definitely go do that. You might have seen my post yesterday, which talked about something very, very interesting about Sundays. And you guys don't have to tell me if this is true for you, because after talking to thousands of people just like you over the last decade, it comes up a lot. It certainly comes up for us. But, Sunday has a really funny way of showing us the truth, right? It's kind of like the part of us that's been present for the world and our family and work all week long is more quiet, right? And you're really sitting with your true self, and all of the things that are potentially misaligned start to come up. We start to think things like, maybe I'm outgrowing this opportunity. Maybe this one thing just isn't aligned anymore. Maybe I'm meant for more. Maybe I'm tired of recycling the same week. I know I'm not alone in saying that Sundays has a really funny way of exposing that, especially like Sunday evenings. I believe this was nicknamed the Sunday Scaries. You start thinking about your life a little bit more when things are quiet on Sunday evenings. And then what happens? On Monday, we jump right into it thinking we got this like amazing reset. It's a fresh start, whatever. But that's not always really what's happening, right? Monday doesn't just come along and fix all of our problems just because it's a new day, fresh week, whatever. We have to upgrade our own identity and our own way of thinking, and typically also have some micro shifts in our actions to have a great week, right? And to really work on getting more aligned, or work on more growth, or work toward our goals, right? That Sunday night truth might just be a new chapter talking to you. And so again, everybody thinks, oh my gosh, Monday's here, fresh start. But the Monday just becomes a mirror of who you were last week, unless something really shifts. The new calendar doesn't really do anything for you. It definitely doesn't change anything. I know I was really deep in my calendar this morning. And that's great. You have to manage your time, but that doesn't help you become more aligned with where you're going. Identity is something that you have to step into every day, every week, for anything really to change. Top performers, high achievers, and people at the director, VP, and executive level typically don't have a problem setting goals, right, or thinking bigger, but really struggle more with designing their identity to really start moving toward those goals. And what I mean by identity is, what are your thoughts and your behaviors and your actions, and are those things really moving you toward your goals? Because typically those things are moving you closer to your goals or further away from your goals. You can even be learning every day. You can be getting better at your skills. You can be, crushing your goals really, and still be taking action, but feel stuck. Because again, your external world isn't reflecting your internal world. And so you might always be feeling like you're dragging your future, you're feeling like you're dragging like your old identity along into your future. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, because there are some things that you can do to start upgrading your identity to get more aligned with where you're headed, or to make some powerful choices to make changes in your life or career to have a great week, right? So if you were reflecting last night, you're like, oh my gosh, maybe I've outgrown this role, or I will just want more out of my life. I want to write a book. I want to impact more people. I want to be more influential. I want to build a brand, whatever it is for you. Like you feel these big pulls toward goals, but still feel stuck. That's who this conversation is for, right? And instead of more strategy and productivity hacks and more effort and performance and self-pressure, what I really want you to think about this week are your beliefs. Who are you, right? What are your beliefs and your core values? Do you think amazing things can happen to you? Do you think that the world is full of opportunity, or do you default more toward a negative mindset? Are you more default optimistic or negative, right? We want to really look at our beliefs, look at our self-worth. What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about your potential? What do you believe is possible? These big goals that you have for yourself, do you believe that you're worth it? Right? Because we can only go as far as our belief will allow us. That's why we have to look at our beliefs. That's why we have to expand our beliefs, have more capacity within our beliefs. We need to upgrade your internal standards, right? Your internal standards. What are your standards? What do you tolerate, right? What does your office space look like? Are your relationships thriving? Are you making healthy choices, right? Are your actions in alignment with who you say you want to become? The more you get in touch with that, the more that you upgrade your emotional identity, your energetic baseline, your leadership self-concept, and definitely your nervous system, which impacts everything, especially how you interact with people, how you interact with the world, how you interview, how you network, how you show up, is all tied into this internal operating system that might need upgraded. In most cases, it does. We're always upgrading. Because when your identity shifts, you guys, your behavior naturally aligns, right? Because it's identity, behavior, outcomes. Identity, behavior, outcomes. My mentor said this in a different way one time, which was do, be, have. Do the thing, be the person who can do the thing, and then you have the thing. So it's never really about how you get somewhere. It's who do you need to become in order to achieve great things? Who do you need to become? Right? Always in that order also. Identity, behavior, outcomes. You might have seen me make several posts over the weekend about the identity recode. And if you see this, and if this resonates with you and you're interested in a 6-week immersion experience to really unpack your old identity patterns and build a new one in order to get an identity upgrade, be sure to DM me the word recode and I'll get you the information before I go fully public with that. And before you go, I want to give you some really tangible things that you can take into the week to be thinking about. And if you're in a place where you can take some notes or make a mental note, what I want you to be thinking about is, and this is kind of explorative, but when you think about the future you and all the goals that you want to achieve and what you want your outer world to look like, again, I've said this, who do you need to become, right? When you think about the future you, and I could definitely in great detail go into the future me that I'm designing. And every day I need to ask myself, am I behaving as her? This is what I mean. I mean, what is she thinking? What does she think? that will immediately sort of expose what your thought patterns are and really what you would want them to be instead. Again, what does she tolerate? What does she no longer tolerate? Even more importantly, right? What is she wearing? What does she believe that she deserves? How does she treat people? How does she show up? What does her life feel like? What does her life look like? And what is one action that you can take every single day that aligns with her and not the past identity? So if I'm talking to one of our clients who wants to be next CEO, maybe they're a high level VP right now and they want to be the next CEO of a mid-sized organization, maybe they haven't even done that, quite yet. Well, that's great. We definitely have the strategy to get you there. But also, what does an amazing CEO do? Right? What does an amazing CEO believe about his or herself and people and opportunity and the world? And what are some behaviors of a CEO that's desired in today's market? They have a great brand. They're willing to put themselves out there. They're bold in their communication. They have a very fruitful network. They have clear messaging. They probably get their workouts in. They probably do some mindset work and listen to a great podcast or read a self-development book, always growing, always seeking, always changing. Those are what great leaders do, right? And so if you're listening to this and it sounds like your habits and your identity are out of alignment of where you actually want to go, understand that will be what keeps you stuck more than anything else. Because again, it's not lack of opportunity and it's not job search strategy. By the way, if you need to book a call with our team, it's www.execupgrades.podcast. I usually rely on Tim to say that. Book a call with our team. Start unpacking. What is it? What are you missing? Why are you not landing interviews? Why don't you stand out? What's going on with your brand? Why are you not landing interviews? Right? But one of the biggest things that happen for people that join our program and come into our environment is, wow, I just realized that I'm not who I need to be to get the job that I want. And that the life that I want is, I'm not doing the things that it requires to become that person. And this is one of the most missed growth opportunities for people, is identity recoding. Because you get to decide who you are, right? It's not just, it shouldn't just be from systems that you inherited or what the world told you or what your parents told you or what stories you brought in with you from childhood or from limited beliefs or conditioning. I could go on and on about all of the ways that people are suppressed or suppressing themselves. But you can change and you can have and build and do, be, and have whatever you want. But it's going to require you to change, right? It's going to require you to put some attention on your thoughts and your behaviors and your actions before the strategy and the time management and all of the other systems we can use to optimize our life and job search. So I am going to leave that with you guys today. If you sat in Sunday scaries, meaning things feel out of control, you feel stuck, you feel trapped, you're not happy, you're not growing. If that's you, consider this, that you need to rework your belief systems and your identity in order for all of that to change. I know the energy of Monday sort of makes us feel like things shifted because we've got all of our to-do lists all of a sudden and plenty of things to do. But we can easily fall into a cycle of not growing or changing if you're not putting some energy on who you are and who you want to become. And I am very, very excited for everyone that decides to join the training in January, because after about a decade of research and helping people land high-level roles in corporate America, we have figured out that it is identity work, identity leadership, identity-driven leadership that really needs a huge focus. It's sort of a category all on its own. And so really excited to connect with you guys on that topic. And we'll see Tim tomorrow. I think we're doing 2 p.m. Central tomorrow. And thanks for joining in and listening to the Career Report. We love you guys. Hope you are having an amazing holiday season, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.